Good morning. It's 8:20 here Monday morning on February 4th, 2019. And checking back in. I had a good weekend. I had art trail for Lubbock. That was good. Social event. And I'm reading through Walter Benjamin's work of art in the age of mechanical reproduction for art theory class right now. And I think a combination between that experience at First Friday Art Trail, having fun, but recognizing that it's a social event, and that the art is oftentimes experienced as a stimulus for entertainment value, and is a commodity to be bought or judged. That made an impression on me. I had fun, but I also didn't have any exceptional art experiences. So between that and then reading through some of Walter Benjamin's words, where he's talking about the impact of video and how the masses consume mechanically reproduced objects, and how that connects and or separates us in terms of our humanity. It's really interesting to me. And I've recently made some connections with the theater department, starting a couple weeks ago. So I'm interested. I just wanted to get this down on a video. My idea is to present paintings on stage. So sell tickets, have people purchase tickets, sit in the audience, bring binoculars so that they can study the surface of the painting, and likely do multiple paintings in sequence. And then collaborate with the music department or a musical composer to write scores of music to go alongside these paintings. So the early idea is to do the subconscious archetypes of the landscape. So you have the landscape archetypes that there's not much on right now, but the general idea is proposed by there's a scholar that published on ResearchGate, and I requested his essay a couple times and he hasn't released it, so I don't get the sense that it's a monitored doesn't seem like there's any active research going on. It's very interesting to me, though. The idea that this person proposed is that there's the primordial sea, there's a forest labyrinth, and there's a glacial wasteland. And that's it. But then I would like to add mountain storm to that, so there'd be 4. And then I'm also thinking of this other painting that I let's see, I think I came up with the title. Looking. I wonder where I put that title. It might be in my notebook. Anyways, but I think origin of being, and so I'm thinking of a sequence of maybe about 5 really large scale paintings where the audience would sit and be into this kind of forced viewing experience where they're quietly sitting, observing the stage, being in the presence of the painting, hearing music performed, and then they're free with their gaze to look at the painting, but the music is going to generally dictate that they're quiet. It doesn't become a conversation. It becomes an experience. So then the music would play. I'm imagining somewhere between 10 minutes, maybe even a half hour. I don't know, depending on the musical composer. And then the curtain would draw. The painting that was shown would be walked off the stage and switched out with a new painting. And so there'd be this sense of fleeting experience where I have access to it now, but then it's gone. It'd be exactly the same as theater in that sense. And I was thinking during intermissions, during transitions, that stage actors could come on. I could collaborate with a playwright. Um, there's a handful of people that are potential candidates over in the theater department. Um, and then there could be stage acting in between, and then the stage actors would go off, the curtain would open again, there'd be a new painting and a new musical score, and it could be a transdisciplinary art experience in that sense. And then there'd be no reason why the show couldn't travel. And the paintings would only be exhibited in theaters as a performance. So it's a static image, but people would be experiencing that while hearing an original musical piece. I think right now, I think it's a great idea. I think that would have a great effect. It would really facilitate people experiencing painting how I think it could and should be experienced. So anyways, I have some big paintings to make and a lot of work that's going to happen. And there's also some conversations that I need to have. Mark Charney is an intriguing figure. I'm excited about that relationship and what doors that could open. There's also Patrick, an actor, and there's Theo, a musical composer, and then Jason over in the philosophy department is also a creative writer. He shared with me on Friday. So I'm interested in pulling some people together and seeing if there's anything to this. Anyway, so I just wanted to get that down. I've written it down in my notebook, but this video journal, this is my second one of these. And I'm thinking it might be a good, it's going to be a good habit to be in. Yeah. So I need to write a précis for Dr. Orfila based on Walter Benjamin's essay. And then I plan on getting down into B40, the embankment this morning, and getting some oil paint on those bigger canvases. And then if I finish my to-do list today, I'll get over to the 3D sculpture annex and work on framing these pieces. So this smaller piece over here, rotate this. Yeah. So that the 2 foot by 3 foot canvas on the wall, titled The Abyss, based on the Fourth Industrial Revolution and a conversation I had with Dave Trebet. And it's an interesting concept. And this painting came to mind. So I have an idea of using iron, what's it called? The sculptors know. But it's basically scrap metal that's in an L shape. And I'm going to use that kind of as a spacer frame, along with wood, and build a spacer frame out of metal and weld and do all that kind of stuff. So I like to do that because if that works, metal is going to provide a lot of structure and a lot of protection for these paintings. And in terms of originality value, I haven't seen it done before. It just seems like a good idea. And same thing with these plexiglass frames, where it projects beyond. This is Numenon 36 next to me, 3 color bands, and It's got a plexi. It's a clear plexi, um, protective edge. So it's fragile, but it allows a clear view into the side of the work, and that I like that. Anyways, that's probably good enough for this morning. Signing off.